Hello and welcome to The Door to Law. My name is Donya and today I am joined by Hamza Khan, who is the co-founder of Letswork. Letswork is a co-working space concept in the UAE. It was launched in 2018 out of the Omar Entrepreneurship E25 program and currently runs around 50 locations in the UAE. Hamza, welcome. So tell me, we're in a Letswork location right now. Can you tell us more about the business concept and how does it differ from other co-working spaces?
Sure. So Letswork is a co-working concept, but if anything, it's actually an app really to its core. So it's an app that helps you find workspaces across the country. And we're an asset-light company whereby we partner with existing venues, hotels, cafes, business centers across the UAE, and we activate them as co-working spaces during the day. My co-founder Omar and I, we joined the E25 platform where everyone was under the age of 25, and the idea was that you come up with innovative concepts which sort of synergize well with Emar, which is the entity that sort of founded the platform.
Okay.
And the idea was that when Omar and I were selected for the program, so I was previously a lawyer, but I quit that to.
I didn't realize
yeah.
actually. That's
oh wait,
amazing.
did you not?
So I'm a lawyer, so that's fantastic.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, do you not? I thought that's the whole point of me on the show. Oh, maybe not. Okay.
Well,
We've got more to talk about now. So basically, we both joined the program. We wanted to do something in the co-working space sort of industry. And at the time, this is about 2 years ago, when WeWork was really like taking the lead and steamrolling across the world. And we wanted to do something similar because we realized that there was a massive gap in the market where co-working hadn't really taken off here in the UAE. There were some co-working spaces, but no one was really doing it right. And then we realized that to do it at a massive scale would require significant amounts of investment. So what we realized was that at the same time there were so many beautiful venues, hotels, cafes, and stuff that were just sitting empty during the day. So we thought, people already work from Starbucks and Costa Coffee, and why not sort of take that footfall from those places and basically move it to better environments, better venues where there's tons of plugs, where there's better coffee, they're nice and quiet, there's free parking.
Yeah.
So we basically curated this amazing sort of bunch of venues, which was at the time when we launched our beta version, it was about 4 or 5. We started off with the Rove Hotel and one venue in Dubai Design District, and to the 50 we have today.
So I'm guessing then you think that co-working spaces are really here to stay.
Definitely.
What would you say to I don't know, someone who said that maybe it's just a millennial trend that's going to die out?
Well, the thing is that co-working in its essence, which is essentially sharing a workspace, has existed for decades, right? So the whole concept of an open plan office in massive corporations, that's been the case for the last couple of decades. Now, the thing with co-working is that you're just taking it to an even sort of bigger scale, where it's not just you sharing your office with your coworkers, but you're sharing it with your office with other people as well. And define an office. An office could be a room, an office could be a building, and you could be sharing, an office could be a desk, and you could be sharing it with other people. And I think the idea is that people are always sort of craving and we live in a really, really sort of connected and digital world now, where people are always sort of craving to meet new people and network and stuff. And I think that's also one of the advantages of co-working, where you're constantly being exposed to interesting individuals or companies that may or may not sort of be an asset to you.
And I heard that you'd open up a ladies-only co-working space. It's a real ladies' house.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, who came up with that idea?
Well, they approached us. I think at the time we had about 20 or 25 venues, and then they said that, hey, we'd love to sort of bring your concept to the ladies' club as well, and just see how it goes, and maybe offer something different, because we have all these amazing sports and wellness facilities and amenities in the club, and we'd love to have people come and spend the whole day and work from there as well. So yeah, I think it was an interesting it was an interesting sort of thing from our side. But I think what's most interesting in terms of our locations is their location as well. So when looking at sort of the analytics and the data that you get from where our members are working. So at the moment, I think we're just about to reach about 15,000 members, and then that's when we sort of decided that, okay, let's actually put some money into this and invest sort of time and effort into building a proper sort of fully functional app. So we're on the App Store and the Google Play Store as well.
And I saw as well on your Instagram page that you were nominated for the Arabian Startup Business Awards.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
What do you think is a key factor that has led Letswork to achieve such kind of early on recognition in such a short space of time?
A bunch of things. Luck, I think, was always, yeah, I mean, honestly, like you could be working on, you know, the best idea with the best team, but it could just be you could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And for us, it's word of mouth, like it's the best.
Are you planning to kind of, it sounds like you are, but like, how do you intend to scale the business further? Do you have any plans?
Yeah, so for us, it was, I think step number one was essentially cover every corner of Dubai, corner of the UAE. So now we have about 40 locations in Dubai, with the rest that are spread across the other Emirates. So Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah, and Ajman. Okay. And the idea was that, you know, no one should be more than, you know, a kilometer away from their nearest workspace, right? And we're sort of nearing that sort of goal very soon, hopefully by in the next 6 months. And then after that, then we can sort of start looking at scaling the business up. Because I mean, at the end of the day, because it is so asset light, and because it's asset light, that's how we've sort of reached 50 venues in a year. Yeah. And then we can sort of, you know, actually start scaling this up in different countries. So we're at this sort of fork right now where we want to decide whether it's actually worth going into sort of regional cities and regional countries where, you know, perhaps you know, things like culture and language and you know, because they're all sort of neighboring, and we sort of, it's like a small sort of startup sort of ecosystem, and we can sort of play that to our advantage. Or we actually, you know, maybe scale this up to other sort of tier 1 international cities where, you know, where there is a massive sort of where, you know, commercial space is very expensive, and there is a massive like sort of digital, London.
Yeah. You know, whatever kind of option you choose, it requires money.
Yeah.
And I know that your first kind of seed round was through EMA. Do you have any plans for your next funding round, or?
Not as of yet. We are sort of making through our seed seed round still. The money that we raise from our seed round still, and we would require additional funding if, yeah, you're right, rightly so, if we do go international, and if we do, I mean, one thing we're also looking at is maybe physical spaces, because if you think about it, like Letswork is great for people who are sort of needing a space, like, you know, maybe it's great for their first year or so when they're a small team, or it depends on what they are. So if you're a small team, it's great for the first year. If you're an individual, for example, it's great, you know, for a long time. But, you know, people start to graduate and they start to grow, and then their needs start to change as well. And a lot of the time, a lot of the time people are creatures of habit as well, right? So people maybe want to sort of start, you know, leaving their stuff there, or, you know, they may actually need like a private sort of space just for them and their team members, and that's why we see the value of maybe going into in physical spaces as well.
So you mentioned at the beginning that you were a lawyer, and
yes.
I did not realize this at all. So really interesting fact. Can you tell me a bit about your journey from a lawyer into like the entrepreneur that you are today?
Well, I don't know if it was a journey. It was a bit of kind of like okay, let's change. No, so basically, I grew up in Dubai. Omar's Emirati and I'm Pakistani, and my parents have been here for the last 30 years. So I grew up in Dubai, went to school here and high school here, moved to London. I went to London School of Economics to study law in 2011, and then graduated in 2014, did the legal practice course there, and then I joined Clifford Chance. So I was a trainee at Clifford Chance for 2 years. So you do 4 seats in different departments, right? Exactly. So I did my training contract, exactly. So I did structured debt, I did private equity, litigation, and corporate. So I basically got a good experience across a bunch of different departments. And for me, it was at qualification time when this E25 program actually came about. And I was actually going to qualify into litigation, and that was my favorite department. I still really enjoy it. You know, I still really, you know, keep in touch with all my ex-colleagues and find out, you know, what's going on in all the sort of the cases that I was working on during then, because cases are usually, you know, they can go on for a couple of years. But at the time, I thought, you know, at qualification, I thought, why not sort of, I'm only, how old was I? 24 or 25? Yeah, I was 24 at the time, and I thought, you know, when else would I be able to get the chance to pitch my idea to the chairman of EMAR and basically get seed funding to try it out and see how it goes? And, you know, I could always maybe go back to law. And so yeah, it was basically like a decision I made over a week. And it was a pretty tough decision. It took a while for me to sort of, you know, speak to my parents and then, you know, convince them that it's a good idea, or also convince myself, because you have that, I think your whole life, you end up sort of, at least my life, it was sort of, you know, taking the next obvious step. So it was, you know, going from primary school to high school, then high school to university, and then university, you know, LPC and training contract. It's just sort of set out, and then you sort of work at a law firm. You're an associate, then a senior associate, then a partner, and you're basically just, you know, die a partner. I mean, who knows? So I thought, why not sort of mess things up a little bit, and try something different,
Try something
like
different,
what's the
exactly.
worst that can happen? The startup crashes, fails, burns, and then I go back to being a lawyer. And I get a great experience. At least I've tried something that was out of my comfort zone.
Well, thank you very much, Hamza, for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah.
I guess for people who want to check it out, Letswork,
Please,
they can download the app, right?
Please download the app. It's available in the App Store. Letswork. That's one word. Letswork. You can visit our website, letswork.io, or follow our Instagram account as well. And yeah, just let us know if you ever need a place to work from.
Thank you, Hamza.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you everyone
Sonia.
for watching.